as if it were breathing. "Something smells good inside," a voice said. It startled the game warden, and he squinted toward it, trying to concentrate, to hear it over the mild roar in his ears. A neighbor wearing a tam on his head was walking a poodle down the middle of the street. "Meat," Will Jensen said abruptly, almost shouting. It was sometimes hard these days to hear his own voice above the roar. "See you," the neighbor called as he walked down the street. "Bon appetit." These people here, Will thought. A goddamned poodle and a tam. His .44 Magnum, his bear gun, was on the truck's bench seat where he had left it. Will drew it out of the holster. Holding it loosely in his right hand, he turned back for the house, tripped over his own boots, and fell in the gravel. A red finger of alarm probed into his brain, concern about accidentally discharging the weapon in his fall. Then he snorted a laugh, thinking, "Who cares?" He didn't know how much later it was when he stirred awake. He was still sitting at the table, but had passed out face forward into his plate. Crisp grouse skin stuck to his cheek, and he pawed at it clumsily until it fluttered to the floor. Angry, he swept the table clear with his arm. Grease smeared across the formica. The dirty plate cracked in half when it hit the wall. Where was his .44? He found it on his bed, where he had tossed it earlier. Along with the weapon, he grabbed a framed photo of his family from the bedside table. He took them both back into the kitchen. Forlorn was a word he had come to like in recent months. It was a word that sounded like what it described. "Forlorn," he said aloud to himself. "I feel forlorn. I am a forlorn man." Something about the word soothed him, because it defined him, made him admit what he was. What in the hell was wrong with him? Why did he feel this way after so many years of balancing on the beam? The roar in his ears was now so faint that it reminded him of a soft breeze in the treetops. His eyes filled with unexpected stinging tears, and he drank a long pull from the bottle. He cocked the .44, watched the cylinder rotate. He opened his mouth and pressed the muzzle against the top of his palate. There was a burning, acrid taste. When was the last time he cleaned it? Why did that matter now? He stared at the photo he'd propped up on the table. It swam. He closed his eyes so tightly that he saw orange fireworks on the inside of his eyelids. He tried to concentrate on the .44 in his fist and the muzzle in his mouth. His stomach was on fire. He tried to fight the urge to get violently sick. He tasted the bitter whiskey a second time. Concentrate. Chapter 2. The wedding of Bud Longbreak and Missy Van Curen took place at noon on a sun-filled Saturday in September on the front lawn of the Longbreak Ranch 20 miles from town. Everyone was there. The governor and his wife, most of the state senate where Bud served as majority leader, the state's lone congressman, and what seemed like half of Saddle String filled 250 metal folding chairs and spilled over into the lawn. Both U.S. senators had sent their regrets. The crisp blue shoulders of the Bighorn Mountains framed the wedding party. The day smelled of just-cut grass and wood smoke from the barbecue pit behind the house, where a prime Longbreak steer and a 4-H pig were roasting. It was a still, windless morning. A single cloud grazed lazily along the peaks. The only sounds were from car doors slamming as more guests arrived, pulling into the shorn hay meadow that served as a parking lot in the back, and occasional mules from cattle in a distant holding corral. Joe Pickett sat in the second row.